Hi, it's Eric Hagen, also known as EricTheSculptor. Today we're looking at a sculpture that's titled Toya Shines. This is one I started about 3 months ago, and I got pretty far along, but then I just was having some trouble, and so I decided I'd just put it aside. So it's been sitting on the shelf for, like a month now. I really haven't even touched it. And then just started coming back to it, and I've been able to see it now with fresh eyes, and it's often possible to see problems that you couldn't see before. So one of the things I do is, as I'm looking at it over the last couple of months, when I see something that's maybe wrong, I take one of these toothpicks and I stick it in the spot that has the problem. And then later I can come back and fix those problems that I can see. A lot of times it depends on the lighting. You can see something at one time of day and not see it another time of day. So it's important to kind of mark it, and then you know that there's an issue that you have to come back to later. A lot of times just seeing a different sculpture, working on something else, and coming back to this one, you can see something you hadn't seen otherwise. So I'm liking the way this is looking. It's probably about 80% done, and this will be a bronze sculpture when it's finished. And so I have to think of some structural issues. So one of the things I've done is I've added this carpet on the bottom. The carpet has two functions. It obviously adds stability to the sculpture, but it also helps to show movement. One of the things that's really important in sculptures is that it's not just representing the item that you're sculpting. You also want to represent the life of the person or of the animal or whatever you're sculpting. Life is shown by movement, and so the movement is shown here by I've added these little creases to the carpets, little wrinkles in the carpets to show that this leg here, one that's bent, has kind of pushed over a little bit and moved this carpet a little bit. That really adds feeling to the whole sculpture. The other thing I've done is that by taking the pose and adjusting it in different ways, I'm able to find the best pose for showing what I want to show. The other thing that I've discovered is by looking at, you often will find something on the sculpture that adds to it. So one of the things that's important here is this curve here, this little wrinkle, is really not anatomically correct. There's a little fold there, but this is really emphasized way too much. If you looked at this in real life, it would look wrong. But by putting it on the sculpture, it catches the light in such a way, it shows this curve, and that curve emphasizes the curve of this leg that's bent. So this curve follows that and helps you, brings your eye down so you see the carpet and see the wrinkles. Even if you don't consciously notice it, you will notice the flow of this, and it gives you the feel of this body as in movement. So the bent leg is a critical part of that, and then showing, it's hard because of the lighting, but there's the ribs are showing here a little bit, which shows that the body is tilted over this way a little bit. I'm going to move the hand position around a little bit. I haven't really done any detail on the hands or the face, so I'll come back to those later. The feet still need a lot of work. I'm trying different ideas with the carpet, and so, but these are all minor issues, and they're things which are probably taking me another 3 hours or so of work, focused work. So I'm going to come back to this later. I've kind of gotten to the stage now where I feel pretty comfortable with the pose and with the overall look of the sculpture, and I'll probably do another 2 hours of work and then have the model come back and do another hour or so with the model, and we'll get it kind of the way we want it. This will be a bronze, and so part of that is having the right structure so that when it's possible to make the mold in order to make the bronze. So to make the bronze, the first step is to make a mold of it, and then that's filled with wax, and the wax is used to make the bronze. So this armature goes in, and there's a metal frame inside that's inside the arms and inside the legs. This could actually, whole thing would lift up and the pose would stay the same. So the carpet is actually separate. I'll be able to cast those separately if we need to. The armature gives me the ability to make changes, so I can easily move the arms and rearrange the pose a little bit. And by giving me that choice, sometimes you can fix a problem. If you don't have the armature in there, you're kind of stuck with the pose that you start with. Especially with this kind of soft clay. This clay is a oil-based clay, so it doesn't have a lot of structural integrity on its own. You're really limited in what you can do unless you have the armature inside. So this one is, again, it's called Toya Shines. And if you want more information, you want to see some of the pictures of this one, on the website is EricTheSculptor.com. And leave some comments on the site. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much.